Hi friends, I'm back again to read another chapter of Monday with Imaginius. Today's chapter is chapter 8, which is entitled Wings. Annie held up the wand. "Close your eyes, Leonardo," she said. Leonardo just shook his head. "Please," said Annie, "just for a second." Leonardo put his head in his hands. "Listen," said Annie, "this morning you said that a great artist has to combine observation with imagination." Leonardo barely nodded. "Well, watch out, because this is the imagination part," said Annie. She waved the wand at Leonardo, then at herself and Jack. Counting her words on her fingers, she said in a loud, clear voice, "Make us fly like birds." Leonardo's arms whipped out to his sides. They sprouted long grayish feathers. He let out a yelp. The next thing Jack knew, his arms had turned into feathery wings too. And so had Annie's. "What's happening?" cried Leonardo. "Wings," said Annie. Jack's wings felt light and airy, yet strong and powerful. "Now we can fly," said Annie. "Wings?" said Leonardo, looking stunned. Then he burst out laughing. "We have wings! We have wings! Run! Run into the wind!" Jack, Annie, and Leonardo all stretched out their wings and took quick steps forward. The wind rushed under their feathers and lifted them off the ground. "Whoa!" cried Leonardo. Leonardo, Jack, and Annie flapped their wings and soared high into the sky. Then they caught a gentle wind and stopped flapping. Twisting this way and that, they glided in a big circle above the countryside. Jack felt as light as the wind. His heart beat wildly. "Incredible, huh?" yelled Annie. "Best flying ever," shouted Jack. Jack and Annie had flown lots before. They'd flown on a dragon, on a bicycle, on a winged lion, and on a magic carpet, and also on the back of a white stag in Camelot. They'd even flown as ravens over a haunted castle, but this was the first time they'd ever flown on their own, just as themselves. "Follow me!" cried Leonardo. He tilted his wings and flew out of the circle. Jack and Annie flew after him. They all swooped high up over the quiet hills and glided through low clouds. The cool, wet mist blew against Jack's face. He felt as if he were swimming through the sky, as if the clouds were water keeping him afloat. Laughing and whooping with delight, Leonardo led Jack and Annie out of the clouds and down over the yellow meadows and the pale green olive groves. "Hello!" Leonardo shouted to farmers plowing a field, but the farmers didn't look up. "Hello!" he called to grape pickers working in a vineyard, but they didn't look up either. No one on the ground looked up, but all the birds in the sky seemed to take notice. Birds cawed and swooped near them, as if welcoming them to their world. Birds flew alongside them and spread out in front of them, leading them over the city walls of Florence. Jack, Annie, and Leonardo circled with the birds over the sea of red-tiled roofs, over the great domes of the cathedral, and over the bell tower of the palace of the Great Council. "Florence looks so neat and orderly from up here," Leonardo cried to Jack and Annie. "I wish I had my sketchbook." That looks really cool. Kind of looks like a lot of fun, guys. The city did look orderly from the sky, thought Jack. The busy market, with its rows of stalls and tents, the narrow lanes with the brightly colored clothes waving from clotheslines, the long covered bridge, the winding, sparkly river. Jack, Annie, and Leonardo soared with the birds back over the city walls out to the countryside. They glided over the olive groves and vineyards. Then they circled above the spot where Leonardo's great bird lay broken in the grass. The bird swooped up and vanished behind the clouds. Leonardo, Jack, and Annie glided down toward the ground. They opened their wings wide, and then, gently and easily, their feet touched the grass. Their wings fluttered with tiny beats, and the three of them took quick, hopping steps before coming to a full stop. When Jack, Annie, and Leonardo were steady on their feet, their long feathers disappeared, and their bird wings became arms again. Leonardo looked dazed. He stared up at the sky. Then he staggered a few steps and fell face down in the grass. "Leonardo?" said Annie. "Oh, no," thought Jack. "He's had a heart attack." Leonardo, said Annie. She knelt down near him. Leonardo rolled over and stared up at Jack and Annie. What just happened? He stammered. Did we fly? Did we really fly? Or was it just a dream? Well, Jack didn't know what to say. To explain the wand to Leonardo, they'd have to start way back at the very beginning, with the treehouse, Morgan, Merlin, Teddy, Kathleen, Dianthus. It would take forever. Well, said Annie, one day a long time ago, we were playing in the woods, and we saw Annie. Jack shook his head. Annie frowned. I guess it can't really be explained, she said. Leonardo looked up at the sky. No, he said. I think you are right. Perhaps some things should remain mysteries and are better kept in our hearts. We should not try to explain them. That's an amazing statement, Jack thought, from a person who always tries to explain everything. But if I had to explain it, I would explain it this way, said Leonardo. He leapt to his feet. For years, I wrote down all my observations of bird flight. I made hundreds of drawings. These things helped me build my flying machine. But in the end, something was missing. Something very important. What? Asked Annie. The spirit of a bird, said Leonardo. A bird is not just a machine. A bird has a spirit. And with the two of you, I somehow gained that spirit. If only for a short time, and only in my imagination, we all became more bird than human. And did the spirit of the bird mend your heart? Annie asked. Leonardo smiled. Yes, my heart is mended now. I am ready to leave this dream behind and move on to others. And it does not matter that the world will never know of my great triumph. So maybe fame isn't the secret of happiness, said Jack. Absolutely not, said Leonardo. I know that now. We must do what we do to satisfy our own hearts. For instance, I am working on a painting now. I love it. I do not care if others ever see it. Oh no. Oh wait, oh no, what time is it? He jerked his head around to look at the sun. I must go. I will be late. Late for what? Said Annie. To meet my model at the studio, said Leonardo. The woman I am painting in the portrait, that one I was just talking about. Oh, we must return. Jack, Annie, and Leonardo hurried back to the cart and climbed in. Leonardo snapped the reins and the white horse started clopping back toward Florence. So, my friends, that is the end of chapter 8. I love that he talked about having spirit, because I think spirit is something very strong. It gives us hope. It gives us strength. And especially right now when we're not together and you have to see your teachers on videos and through Zoom, know that we have spirit and we have faith and that we know we're definitely going to get through this. We think you guys are awesome. Happy learning and happy every day. Bye.